ABC 10 News at 5 starts right now.
Tiger Woods badly injured in a car crash. What we know about his condition right now and the one thing investigators have already ruled out. Plus the financial lifeline that will soon be coming to California businesses struggling in the pandemic. And passionate arguments being made from both sides as the San Diego City Council tackles the hot button issue of short-term rentals.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
And good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson. I am joined remotely by my co-anchor Lindsay Pena. We're going to be checking in with her shortly. But first, Tiger Woods is in the hospital tonight after being involved in a serious rollover crash near Los Angeles. The golf star underwent surgery to repair multiple leg injuries this morning. Our ABC 10 News sports director Ben Higgins is joining us. And Ben, first responders say Woods was calm when they arrived on scene.
Yeah, well, when the picture of the wrecked SUV, a lot of golf fans feared the worst, but it does appear that the injuries sustained by Tiger Woods this morning are not life-threatening, even though he did require emergency surgery for multiple leg injuries. Tiger's vehicle went off the road in Rancho Palos Verdes, just south of Los Angeles. It appeared that the executive model Genesis hit the center curb of the winding road and went over the side of the steep hill. Airbags deployed and emergency responders had to use tools to break through the windshield to pull Woods out. Investigators are looking into the cause of the crash, but say that Tiger was conscious and had no visible signs of impairment when he was discovered. Woods was taken to the nearest trauma center, Harbor UCLA, for treatment, where his agent said he was in surgery for multiple leg injuries. Now, Woods hasn't played golf since competing in a tournament with his son Charlie back in December. He was in Los Angeles as host of last weekend's Genesis Invitational at Riviera Country Club, and it appeared to be one of the tournament's courtesy cars that was involved in the crash.
Apparently the first contact was with the center median, and from there then crossed into the opposing lane of traffic, hit the curb, hit a tree, and there was several rollovers during that process.
It certainly sounds like Tiger Woods is lucky to be alive this evening. As for his golf career, it was already on hold following back surgery, and he wasn't sure if he'd make it back in time for the Masters in April. Now, even if he does recover fully, it's likely going to be quite a while before he's able to compete again, which means might not be able to play at the U.S. Open in June at Torrey Pines, where he won back in 2008, which would be a shame. At least he's okay. I'm Ben Higgins, ABC 10 News.
Now to the latest on the coronavirus. Governor Gavin Newsom signing a $7.6 billion relief package today, giving much-needed financial help to people across California. In addition to $600 stimulus payments, businesses that have been struggling during the pandemic will also get a boost. ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala explains how that money will be distributed.
We consider ourselves lucky at this point to still be surviving in our business.
Businesses have continued to struggle across San Diego County during this pandemic. But Tuesday, Governor Gavin Newsom signed a $7.6 billion coronavirus relief package. $600 payments will go to about 5.7 million people, and there's help for small businesses, including $2.1 billion for grants up to $25,000. $50 million of the funding will be allocated for nonprofit cultural institutions.
Building on the $500 million of grants that have already been going out.
The package also includes some fee waivers.
For 2 years, there'll be no cosmetology, barbering licenses. There'll be no fees associated with those licenses or with alcohol beverage licenses.
Everything counts, of course, but it's $50 to renew my license.
Corrine Lamb owns Salado Salon in Rancho Bernardo with her husband. After more than 100 days of closures, she's thankful her business even survived.
We've received 2 grants from the county, our PPP loan, SBA loan, and honestly, more humbly, the amount of donations we've received from just people, clients, have been incredible.
But she doesn't have much faith in receiving help through the governor's new package.
Back in December, the California Relief Grant had launched, and we've been now waitlisted twice.
While she thanks her loyal clients for keeping her business afloat, she says many people in this industry have had to shut their doors permanently due to the lack of help earlier on.
It's too little, too late. You know, a lot of people have lost everything already.
Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
Now, at this point, it's still unclear when businesses can begin applying for those grants. San Diego Unified says it has a deal and a plan to bring students back to campus. Today, the district reached an agreement with the teachers union to get educators and staff vaccinated by April 5th. Students at all grades would then return April 12th. Some parents are already protesting, saying that's not soon enough. But teachers tell us many are not willing to return to the classroom before getting the shots.
Teachers are scared of getting this virus, of affecting their families. And I think what we're asking for is completely reasonable.
The return to campus has one catch. San Diego must be out of the purple tier before students can return. And San Diego County is missing the metric that would allow youth sports to begin under state guidance by the narrowest of margins. San Diego is staying in the purple tier for another week. Our case number is 15 per 100,000 residents. The number to allow youth sports is 14 per 100,000. As cases drop, 32 California counties have now hit that mark. Many youth sports are restarting anyway after a San Diego judge granted a temporary restraining order last week to allow it to resume. San Diego County's largest vaccination superstation reopened this morning. The Petco Park site had been closed since Friday because of weather-related delays in shipments of doses. Appointments that were canceled are being automatically rescheduled. The CDC has advised that people can wait up to 42 days between doses and still achieve maximum immunity. And you can follow any developments surrounding the pandemic by downloading our free mobile app. Just go to the App Store and search 10 News.
Minutes ago, the City Council voted to adopt a new ordinance over short-term rental regulations in San Diego. Dozens of speakers have been sharing their opinions since 11 o'clock this morning. Our ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer Kastner has more on their concerns.
On Tuesday, nearly 100 people called in to speak out over a new proposal for tackling the city of San Diego's hot-button debate over how to regulate short-term vacation rentals.
I do support this ordinance.
This regulation will be a crushing blow to these businesses already trying to recover from the pandemic.
The city estimates there are 16,000 local homes used primarily as vacation rentals. Passing the new proposal caps that amount at about 6,500, which is a little more than 1% of the overall housing supply, with the biggest concentration in Mission Beach. Hosts would have to apply for licenses, and the city would step up nuisance enforcement. Some callers voiced support for the proposal's passing.
We encourage the council to approve this measure. Tourism has changed in the face of COVID-19. And what is our economic recovery going to look like? San Diego needs to be a city that's adaptable, and short-term vacation rentals provide an opportunity for our tourism industry to recover.
San Diego is facing a housing crisis. Short-term rentals take affordable housing off the market, promotes homelessness, and raises housing costs disproportionately.
Others expressed concern over what they deemed as an inadequate solution.
If you must have a cap, please raise it and do not make it random. Prioritize us responsible owners. We do need a compromise, but completely taking away my right to do what I want with my own house is not a compromise.
So the two things that I see missing from this ordinance that'll make it almost unenforceable is any sort of platform accountability and data gathering from them. Not only on TOT tax, but who's listing the property and where.
Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
The council will have a continued discussion regarding some smaller issues in the ordinance, which is expected to take effect on January 1st, 2022.
A piece of San Diego history is almost gone. As you can see, most of SDCCU Stadium has been knocked down to make way for the new Aztec Stadium. ABC 10 News reporter Steve Smith gives us a closer look at the progress being made in Mission Valley.
Whether you call it San Diego, Jack Murphy, Qualcomm, or SDCCU Stadium, the 54-year-old structure is fading into San Diego history. But as the stadium falls, simultaneously, the new Aztec Stadium starts to rise on the Mission Valley site.
We've all taken it as a challenge that we believe that we've raised, and we're looking to raise the bar on this stadium for multipurpose and college stadiums in the country.
The new stadium is scheduled to open in the fall of 2022. As of now, knock on wood, they are right on schedule.
I would like to say it's a lot of planning went into that. And on our part, and we have a really impressive team. No one on the board ever expected a worldwide pandemic, but I think we've all adapted very well and done a really good job of keeping this thing moving forward.
Derek says the west side of the new stadium is coming along very nicely as the cement pour for the elevated deck is currently underway. And over the next few weeks, slowly but surely, the foundation of the stadium will start to take shape.
The lower suite level, which is the second level above the event level, will continue to start. We'll be pouring next week. You'll start to see we poured the foundation for the field walls. You'll start to see the stadia come through on the north and the east side, March through May. Then we'll get into June and July. You'll start to see the south and the west come on board. You'll start to see structural steel happen.
As for the old stadium, Derek says it should be totally gone from the landscape by the end of the summer. I'm Steve Smith, ABC 10 News.
For those nostalgia buffs, the new Aztec Stadium will pay homage to the old stadium. As to what that might be, Derek says they don't want to give that away quite just yet.
It is clear action needs to be taken. Those are the words today from Senator Amy Klobuchar after the Senate held its first hearing on last month's Capitol Hill riot. ABC's Mary Alice Parks has the tough questions directed at law enforcement.
Testifying back at the very scene of the violence, Capitol Police Captain Carnisha Mendoza recalling the January 6th attack as extreme and overwhelming.
We could have had 10 times the amount of people working with us, and I still believe the battle would have been just as devastating.
5 people died as a result of the insurgency. Dozens of officers sustained injuries, some severe. Today on Capitol Hill, the former House Sergeant at Arms, the former Senate Sergeant at Arms, and the former Capitol Hill Police Chief all testifying about what they knew and didn't know before the attack.
We had planned for the possibility of violence, the possibility of some people being armed, not the possibility of a coordinated military-style attack involving thousands against the Capitol.
The FBI says it was tracking chatter online, but the witnesses testifying today claim specific intelligence suggesting the threat of an attack did not make it to them.
What exactly did you know on January 5th, and why didn't you alert anyone?
What the FBI sent them on January 5th was in the form of an email. I would certainly think that something as violent as an insurrection of the Capitol would warrant, a phone call or something.
Tough questions, too, about the deployment of the National Guard even after the violence started.
Would you agree that there were serious issues at the Pentagon that contributed to the fact that Guard troops did not arrive at the Capitol until about 5:40 that day?
I don't know what issues there were at the Pentagon, but I was certainly surprised at the delays I was hearing and I was seeing.
Many of those testifying just telling incredible stories of heroism and bravery, talking about all of those Capitol Police that did everything they could, even when they were completely outnumbered. Mary Alice Parks, ABC News, Washington.